What is going on, everyone? Today we have the Audi SQ5, the performance version of the Q5. I'm so excited to show this to you guys. If you're looking for luxury, performance, and practicality all in one, well, you're gonna love this vehicle right here. We're gonna go for a fun test drive, go through all the details coming right up. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Let's take a quick look at the exterior first. So with the SQ5, there's gonna be the Premium Plus, and the Prestige, and we have the Prestige right here, and a big thanks to Audi for providing this for my first Audi review ever. So starting on the headlights, the base model will actually get xenon with the LED daytime running lights, but we have full LED headlights right here. These are three-dimensional LED headlights, and you can see the turn signal right there. I'll show you the rear sequential turn signal in the back, but these look pretty nice at night. These headlights also do a really good job at night. They're wide. You have your all-weather lighting that comes out of the headlights as well. So everything works really well. The SQ5 gets this special grille. It's the platinum gray single frame grille. You got your Audi emblem plus your camera below that. Then you can see the air vent down there on the bottom on each side of the grille as well. This particular color that we have right here is the Moonlight Blue Metallic. This color is pretty nice. It's pretty darn dark, honestly. There's not a whole lot of flake to it, but it's a really sleek color. In day or night, I think I like it, and the people that I've been with have liked it as well. So one thing, of course, with Audi is we have these pronounced wheel arches and the shoulder line that runs along the side of the body. It really gives this car a nice look, some nice shape, kind of rounds out over the back wheel back there. Now talking about wheels, ours actually has these 21-inch 5 double spoke V-shaped wheels. And these things are massive. They look pretty nice as well. Sometimes when you get some big wheels, it just looks a little tacky, but these look good. You've also got the red brake calipers there. And these tires are 255/40 tires, summer performance tires. And I think they look pretty darn nice. Then you got your Turbo V6 badge right there. These mirrors are pretty unique as well. They're the aluminum optic. We've got the LED turn signal in them. They do have blind spot monitoring, but it's on the inside of the mirror, not actually on the mirror glass. They can reverse tilt, and they are auto dimming and power folding as well. We've got a smart key system on our model. We even got these, the bars up top, the base carrier bars. Those things are pretty massive. So if you've got some stuff to haul around, especially considering we have all-wheel drive, you've got a ton of clearance to fit a lot of things up there. So nice job by Audi by giving you some large bars, a lot of ability with that. The ground clearance of this SQ5 loaded is 8.2 inches, and this has the Sport Adaptive Air Suspension and the Quattro Sport rear differential, and I'll talk about that more with the powertrain coming up soon. Then we have LED taillights. We actually have fake exhaust, just a completely fake exhaust. There's not even a hole in that exhaust. It's completely fake, and for a performance vehicle, I would like to see something different. The actual exhaust is below that bumper. Let me know what you think down below. You know, a lot of you harped on the VW Jetta that I reviewed, but I think it just looks kind of silly. And then here's our sequential turn signals right here. I think those look pretty cool, especially at night. Overall, I like the styling of this Audi. I'd love to know what y'all think down below, so please leave your comments below. Now the Audi doesn't come standard with all sorts of safety features, but standard is Audi's Presense Basic and City with automatic emergency braking up to 52 miles per hour. There's also side assist with blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. Presense Rear, which monitors traffic following you, front and rear parking sonars, rain sensing wipers, plus vehicle exit warning that will alert you of approaching vehicles from behind. And then available, if you get the Prestige package, is adaptive cruise control with stop and go, traffic jam assist up to 40 miles per hour to help with braking, accelerating, and steering to basically reduce some stress, park steering assist, and automatic high beams. As long as you have the key fob with you and you just kick right between these little sensors here, you've got the hands-free power tailgate. And now once you got this thing open, you've got about 25 cubic feet behind the second row. And then once you fold them down, you got about 53 cubic feet with the seats folded. So a pretty nice cargo area for a vehicle that is relatively small and a luxury performance vehicle. Now let me give you a closer look of what it's like with some stuff inside. So once we have this liftgate open, one thing is we have a nice LED light right there. You can just close it with that button, or if you're gonna walk away, you can hit that one, it'll close and lock. Now that we're back here, we have another light over there. We have pull tabs to lower it down. We even have the adaptive air suspension. So you can make it a little taller or a little lower for loading purposes using those two buttons right there. Each side gives us a little net for you to store some small stuff. There's even a spare tire under here. And that's not how it would typically come. There is a tire inflator in here, but it's still nice to see that available in this class behind or below that little tray. There's another light on that side as well. And to fold these seats, if I have my seat where I'm normally sitting, it does not work. So you'd have to make some adjustments right there, but still. And then same thing on this side. I moved that passenger seat forward a little bit so that will go. Those headrests can get in the way. And then I just click that seat down, and you can even use these to return the seats, at least part way. And the nice thing is that you have a 40-20-40 split. So you can have both of those seats up and that middle one down for some longer items. Our Audi Prestige model, of course, gives us the smart key system with push button start. The base model will give you push button start, but will not give you the remote, or excuse me, the advanced key system to where it's basically a smart key. So we've got these basic buttons on here. There is no remote start on the key fob, which is something that really irks me on a $68,000, $69,000 vehicle. But the way this works is it's a sensor behind it. Otherwise you can hit that line to lock it, stick your hand behind the door to unlock it, and the handle actually flips up, which is kind of cool. I think it's honestly probably a little bit more ergonomic. And then when you lock the vehicle, the mirrors will flash and power fold. One thing that I like though that you can do with the key fob is, say on a hot day, you want to air your vehicle out, but you don't want to leave the windows open the whole time. Hit the unlock button 3 times and hold it. Oop, I must have let go. Let's try that again. There we go. You can get your windows and even your moonroof to open up, and then you can air out your car from a distance. The front seats for this SQ5 are about perfect. They're a good combination of sporty, luxurious, comfortable, all of that. These seats are fine Napa leather with diamond stitching. They're 12-way power sport seats, including 4-way lumbar for both your driver and your passenger, and both of us even get the extending thigh support as well. So tons of ways that you can get comfortable in here. These seats are heated. They do come with memory settings as well for 2 different positions, including your mirrors. And one thing that I really love, I always complain about headrests if they're just too far forward, giving me a neck ache. These headrests can move forward and backwards, and they're called comfort head restraints. So you can get them in a comfortable position however you please. You can get a power adjustable steering column. We don't have that, but I like this manual adjustability. It's quick, it's easy, it won't break down, and there's a ton of space with it. The steering wheel is not heated, but you can get that with the cold weather package. It's a flat bottom steering wheel, and if you want ventilated seats, you have to get the warm weather package. The Audi SQ5 gives us a simple layout on the interior. We have a black headliner, there's carbon fiber trim, inlays, Alcantara. It's a simple layout, and everything seems to work pretty well. Let me give you a quick look through all the interior stuff here. So up top we have a fairly soft material. It's not quite plush for an elbow pad, but got the trim piece running through here, memory setting functions, soft armrest right here as well, and a nice bulky grab handle, all automatic windows, and your mirror controls. You can open up your lift gate right there. Got pretty good storage area down here. My large bottle does fit in there. Tons of space actually. Right on the inside, we've got our lighting controls for the outside, the inside, and then your all-weather lights as well. We've got these nice looking pedals. It's another thing right there. Good dead pedal right there as well. And then just below here, we have a nice softly lined, pretty large storage bin right there for sunglasses, since we don't have an actual sunglass holder above. As I shut the door, it's a really nice solid door slam. I would expect nothing less from Audi, that's for sure. Got this nice flat bottom steering wheel right here. Got good controls for our displays, paddle shifters. It's a nice steering wheel. No heating option on this particular model, but you can with the cold weather package. This little star, I'll show you what you can do with that. Then your radio controls, voice controls over here. Let's go ahead and start it up. Push button start. Now there's kind of a lot going on with the steering wheel and the stalks off the steering wheel. So first of all, you've got your typical light controls right there. You've got your automatic high beams. You can turn your lane keeping system on and off just by tapping the edge of that. Just below the steering wheel or just below that stalk, we have our cruise control settings. So you can have, you can set it with the button here, increase or decrease your speed, increase or decrease your distance, and then cancel and resume pulling it or pushing it away from you. Then on the right side, typically I wouldn't go through all this stuff, but there's a lot of stuff going on here. You have automatic wipers here, and you can control you can have it off, you can have it on low and high, you can control the speed as well, kind of adjust it, and your rear wiper controls as well. Now taking a look at the gauge here, we've got a 12.3-inch digital cockpit display, and this is really nice. Let me scroll through a lot of the available things that we have here. On the left and the right, you've got your temperature and then your fuel gauge. But then as I scroll through other information here, I have it on kind of a more conventional style here where you have your tachometer and your speedometer there. You can use the steering wheel to scroll through a whole bunch of information here. So lots of stuff right there. I'm just going to kind of pass through here. This is really cool. This is actually like Google Earth right here, and you can zoom in or out using the buttons on the steering wheel. So that's really awesome. If you have your mobile device connected, that'll show up right there, your radio, and then kind of back to that. So I can change the view into more of a sports setting right here. And basically, the same thing. You've got your trip computer on one side, you've got your date and time on the other side. So same type of information, just different displays, which I really like. There's a whole bunch of information that you can do with this. And then as we move across the dash right here, the dash material is nice and soft. It's a pretty simple layout. You've got the trim piece running across with the Quattro there as well. Now this is not a touchscreen. That's something I wish it was, because it's just in a good place. It's in a nice spot. It's an 8.3-inch screen, but it is not touch. The way that the screen works is solely by using this and some of the steering wheel. So you can shortcut to your nav, your map, your phone, for CarPlay or Android Auto, your radio, media. You can use this dial, which does give you some feedback. Menu, back button, go through your pages, and then your preset numbers right there. Now this touchpad, the MMI Touch, does give you handwriting recognition when you're using your map instead of actually searching and typing for stuff. But let me go ahead and go through some of the features on here. There's really a whole bunch. So in the settings, there's a lot of different things that you can adjust as you go through here, and you can easily back out and scroll through different things. Let's see here. Let's go to, you can go to your media, your radio, your sound. And the sound on here is excellent. We have the B&O, Bang & Olufsen 19 speaker, 755 watt system, which sounds really nice. You can control all of that through here. Adjust your settings. It sounds really nice, actually. I mean, I'm definitely impressed with it. Tons of different vehicle settings here. So one thing I really like is, for example, all of these different modes you can do. And I've actually got the star button on the steering wheel. That little star button right there, when I push that, I have it set to adjust this. And you can also do it with the drive select buttons down below. But let's just say you leave it in auto, it's going to stay, it's going to keep you in kind of a mid-level height, but adjust your throttle response as needed. And then comfort mode, going to raise you up a little bit, soften the ride a little bit. All road and lift off-road. So if you go here, you can see it on the right, it's going to lift you up, which is pretty sweet. And you can actually feel the vehicle move. Then once you get to dynamic, you can go to dynamic for your sportier setting. It's going to lower you down. And then if you go to individual, you can basically customize what you want in your vehicle settings. When I go back, you can scroll through all of this same stuff again. So a lot of different stuff that you can do. I just wish it was touchscreen so that you did not have to use that dial and the touchpad, but it still works pretty well. We've got our heated seat buttons right here, 3-tier heated seats. No ventilated seats on our particular model. Technically tri-zone climate control. All the buttons are pretty easy to use, and these are actually touch sensitive. So that's pretty cool. So once you put your hand on it, it's going to register, and you can control the rear over here. So you can still control everything. It's just kind of an interesting touch. One thing I have noticed with that though is that when the sun is overhead, it can glare so bad off of those buttons. That has been one thing that I've noticed. So you can use your drive buttons right here, your Audi Select buttons right there for your different settings. Auto stop start can be turned off, traction control, parking sonar, downhill assist. And then if you push this one, it'll shut off your screen, which is actually really convenient. I enjoy that. Right below that, we've got our start button, more carbon fiber trim pieces, a small storage bin right there, which is well lit, but my phone doesn't fit in there, an iPhone 7 Plus. My wallet fits in there okay. It's just kind of a small space. USB port right there, 12-volt power outlet. This shifter is pretty nice. It doesn't actually like move and stay in place. So for example, you can push this button on the left, one notch to go to neutral, one notch down to go to drive. Do it again to put yourself in sport mode. You can go over for manual mode. And then if we want to go into reverse, we can push it all the way up. Once you have it in reverse, we've got this backup camera right here. It's a top view monitor. You can scroll through where you want to see the camera, what parts of the car you want to see, your parking sonar. It's really nice to have, and it'll automatically pop up when you put it in reverse. So around view monitor right there, changing views, really nice to have. Then we have our electronic parking brake here, a tiny little storage bin over here. My wife's smaller phone fits in there, but my iPhone Plus does not. I wish it did. The actual volume and seek is over here, and I can't stand that it's over there. I don't like that because my passenger's knees or hands are in this area, and it's just like, come on, get your hand off my volume knob. So, you know, that's just a small complaint, but I don't like it. And then right over here, these bottle holders are in an okay spot, but it's like they're pretty darn small. They fit some small drinks okay, but they just don't, they're just tight as heck. So that's one little complaint. This armrest is soft. It can move forward if you don't mind it running into taller bottles. You can lift it up for a sliding tray. USB port, auxiliary port down there. It can slide forward, but it's kind of worthless if you actually have water bottles in here. But Audi also can give you a wireless charging spot in here, but I don't have a wireless charging phone, and if you have your phone in the wireless area, you actually get, it's called the phone box, you actually get better signal too, so that's pretty cool. And this armrest does ratchet, so you can stop it in different areas. Over here, Audi gives us a locking glove box as well. That is soft opening, softly lined, and there's spots for 2 SD cards, so that is pretty cool as well. Audi even gives us a CD player in here like we've seen on other Volkswagens, and a small storage bin off to the side. Now if we take a look at the visibility here, visibility really isn't too bad until you get to that rear pillar. That rear pillar is fairly large, back window's not too bad, and the blind spot monitor is actually the little black mark, the little black spot right there on the mirror, so it's not in the mirror, it's right on the side, and it's pretty bright and it seems to work pretty well. Then as we go up overhead, we've got LED lights that are touch sensitive, both here and in the back. And then we have garage controls, we have an automatic dimming rear view mirror, plus we have this panoramic moonroof that is actually transparent for the most part, which can be kind of cool, but when the sun is directly overhead on those hot days, I really don't like that at all. You can move this back. I just wish that there was a completely solid option over top of that, but it's a large moonroof, and I'll show you a little bit more of a view in the back. And then to finish things off, we've got a vanity mirror with a light, and the entire visor can slide out. And one of my favorite things about this Audi is the ambient lighting package that we have in here. You can change it through different colors. You've got a white, a blue, a red, a custom depending on your drive mode, and it really lights up this cabin all over the place, even in the back seats. It's just really nice, and it's a premium look. Now climbing into the back seat, it's a pretty easy get in. The roof line's not too low, and at 5'9", sitting behind myself, I still have plenty of knee space, and there's even a little bit of a cutout back here. There's map pockets on each side, and my foot space is pretty good, so I'm pretty comfortable. I did have 5 people in here at one time, so I had 3 people across right here, and there's a pretty darn large hump in the middle right there, which is annoying. The good thing is we have AC vents back here. You've got your own climate controls, but there's no USB ports back here. You get one 12-volt power outlet, so you could plug it in and get yourself a couple USBs. On the doors, we still have some nice material, the Alcantara on the inside. and a good sized bottle holder on each door as well. Audi also gives us this center folding armrest, which is padded. Push that and you've got two itty bitty tiny little cup holders. You could maybe fit a can in there or maybe a plastic bottle, but they're pretty small. Then one nice thing is with this panoramic roof, it comes all the way back pretty much past my head, and I still have enough headroom for myself. Now I have this passenger seat all the way back, and I cannot sit there with my legs, but nobody's really had a problem with people sitting in the front. And a nice thing is you can scoot these seats forward and backwards, and you can recline a little bit. So it's pretty nice back here. Under the hood here for the SQ5 is where all the fun starts and the party is happening for this particular Audi. The sole engine option for the SQ5 is a 3-liter V6 with a twin scroll turbo, and this power plant will put out 354 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque, and that torque comes out early at 1370 RPM all the way through 4500 RPM. This comes standard with an 8-speed Tiptronic transmission. It's an automatic but a torque converted transmission, not the dual clutch variety like we have seen before. Standard for this is Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive, which is excellent. I personally love all-wheel drive. I love the assurance with it. I grew up in the north, winter ice, all that stuff, plus the performance that you get with it as well. And we have the sport rear differential on this particular model. It's not standard, but we have it, which can push almost 100% of the torque to one wheel or the other in the back for improved handling. Now, 0 to 60 wise, it is pretty quick. 0 to 60 in 5.1 seconds. Miles per gallon, if you're curious, 19 in the city, 24 on the highway, and 21 combined, and I've done a little bit better than that. All right, everyone, thank you so much for sticking around for the test drive. Always my favorite part. So I'm going to give you some of my impressions, you know, after daily driving this thing for about a week, and then we'll kind of try to have a little bit more fun. My first impression right off the bat, just when I first got into this thing, is that it just feels compact, it feels solid, and it feels quick, it feels fun. The steering on this thing is pretty impressive, honestly. It's got the dynamic, it's adaptive steering, so lower speeds and higher speeds, you've got the different ratio of the feel to the steering wheel, and it's definitely noticeable once you get on the highway, and when you're at lower speeds, you can definitely tell the difference, and it's just easy to maneuver everywhere you are. And then right off the bat, I have it in auto mode. I just got it in drive, and let's just step on it. And after a second, it punched me in the back. So the acceleration on here is definitely good. There is some lag, a little bit of lag, but what I'm most impressed with is, let me just put it in sport mode. Still in auto, but sport mode. Brought the revs up a little bit, and then it's quick to go. And you've got a nice exhaust sound back there. You know, I don't know for sure. There's probably some coming in through the speakers, but it still sounds nice when you're in the back of the vehicle. And the powertrain sound. I like that. I enjoy that. It's fun to drive, that is for sure. 0 to 60 is supposed to be 5.1 seconds, which is respectable. Now I got it back in drive, and the ride comfort is good. It's a taut suspension. We have the air suspension, and it's definitely, it handles well. The suspension is good for handling. There's not a lot of lean, and in order for that to be achieved, you know, there's going to be some stiffness in it. But I've gone over some big bumps, and it really soaks stuff up a lot. You notice it, but it's not harsh. There's nothing harsh about this ride at all. It's compliant, and when you have it in comfort mode, it is softened up a little bit. You put it in that, you get a little bit higher center of gravity, and things soften up a little bit. But when you drop it down and when you are in dynamic and you're going pretty sporty, you feel the tightness of the suspension. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. The brakes on here are also very good. You've got those nice red brake calipers out there. We've got some pretty wide tires, and it's got a nice feel to it. You can get on the brakes and it responds just how you want it to. I haven't had any emergency maneuvers that I've had to make. However, I haven't had any trouble with what I've wanted and needed to do. The noise, NVH, vibration, harshness is all good. I haven't had any rattles of any sort. The wind noise is almost non-existent. I haven't heard hardly anything. We've got acoustic front glass up here. The road noise, though, on a rougher surface does get in a little bit more than I was expecting. Now, I just put it in dynamic mode, and I'm gonna put it in manual mode as well. You can use the actual gear lever or the paddles. I'm gonna use the paddles. Downshifts are nice, rev match. And that's pretty quick. You've got the all-wheel drive, you've got no slip, 4th gear, holding 3.5. Nice sound, nice solid and flat. Handling is good. I definitely enjoy driving this thing. It is fun to drive. The paddles are so quick too. I think that is one of the best things. It's not a dual clutch, but it is a darn quick transmission. So 4th gear, little rev match, 2nd. It'll go through the gears pretty quick. I'm definitely impressed. And even if you just have it in the S mode, holds those RPMs. Got some crackles back there. We have the sport differential back there, and I think I can feel it kind of pushing more torque on that outside wheel for sure. Nice little grumble to it at low speeds. So I've got a slight uphill here, but I'm going to kind of brake torque it a little bit. I sent my keys for a ride, but man, that thing pushed me back in my seat a little bit there, so my keys just went down the avalanche. So don't put your keys in that front little holder. They're gonna fly around. I hope you guys can hear the sounds that this makes. Especially on those upshifts. Man, when it shifts to the next gear and it spits out the back, and it's in S right now, and it's holding me pretty high. Definitely a lot of fun. I've had a blast driving this thing. And in conclusion, honestly, if you're looking for practicality, performance, comfort, and some luxury features, this is something you definitely want to look at. I was a little surprised that we didn't have something standard. For example, ventilated seats. I thought that those would have been standard in here, being about $70,000. Also, heated rear seats, just another thing. I enjoy the head-up display that we get right here. It shows me the speed, it shows you your lanes if you want to do that, the speed limit if you want. So a lot of nice stuff with that. Now, I haven't been able to drive competing vehicles to really talk to you about that, but I hope that you got to know a lot of details about this SQ5. And a huge thanks to Audi. This is the first time they've loaned me a vehicle. Hopefully we can get some more. Leave your comments down below what you think of this SQ5. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. Please subscribe down below for weekly videos on all different types of vehicles, trucks, cars, SUVs, all of that. Let's get one more little punch right here. Dynamic mode, sport mode. It's a fun car. So I'm gonna have a 5 likes and dislikes on this vehicle as well. There were some things that I grumbled about, some things that I really do like about it. So if you wanna see that, that'll be coming out shortly after this. But thank y'all so much again for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you next time.